वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, chapter entitled Mother Yashoda Binds Lord Krishna. Text 4. Please repeat after me. Tam Stanyakamaha Asadya Mathnantim Jananim Harihi Grihitva Dadimantanam Nyashedhat Pritimavahan Tam Stanyakama Asadya Tang Stanyakama Asadya Matnanting Jananim Harihi Matnantim Jananim Harihi Grihitva Dadhimantanang Nyashedhat Pritimavahan Tang Stanyakama Asadya Matnantim Jananim Harihi Grihitva Dadimantanang Nyashedhat Pritimavahan Tang Stanyakama Asadya Matnantim Jananim Harihi Grihitva Dadimantanang Nyashedhat Pritimavahan. Mataji. Tam unto Mother Yashoda, Stanyakamaha, Krishna, who was desiring to drink her breast milk, Asadyam, appearing before her, matnantim, while she was churning butter, jananim, to the mother, harihim, Krishna, grihitva, catching, dhadimantanam, the churning rod, nyashedat, forbade, pritim avahan, creating a situation of love and affection. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: while Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. Purport: Krishna was sleeping within the room, and as soon as he got up, he became hungry and went to his mother. Wanting to stop her from churning and drink the milk of her breasts, he stopped her from moving the churning rod. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Nitinamini. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarane. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Tangstanya Kama Asadya Matnantim Jananim Harihi Grihitva Dhadimantanam Nyashedat Pritimavahan. Once again, translation. While Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we saw the description how Yashoda was ready for churning the butter for Krishna, and in today's verse we are seeing, so she started churning, and Krishna woke up from his sleep, and the very first thing when he woke up from the sleep was he started feeling hungry. So he wanted to drink milk. So now we can understand from where the concept of bed coffee came. Janmadyasya yataha, everything comes from Krishna. So Prabhupada writes in many places, right? The stealing, lying, enjoying, all these mentalities comes from Krishna. So whatever we see in this material world, it comes from Krishna. So when I was just reading the translation for preparing for the class, before preparing for the class, first thing that's what struck my mind, that the concept of bed coffee also came from Krishna. But when Krishna does, it's glorified. We are studying it, we are praising it, but not when normal jiva imitates that. So this is very wonderful pastime which we are going to hear from this chapter and also in the next chapter, these two chapters. Very beautiful description of Damodar Leela is given. Therefore, every year we celebrate it for a month. This pastime, we glorify it, we speak about it. So, very nicely. So here Shukadeva Goswami starts narrating this pastime in this 9th chapter, and there is a reason behind it, why he is narrating this Leela at this point of time. Till now we saw Shukadeva Goswami narrating to Parikshit Maharaj about how Krishna took birth, and then how he came to Gokul, and then the pastimes of killing of Putana, killing of Shakatasura, killing of Vritrasura, killing of Tranavarta. So these pastimes till now Shukadeva Goswami has narrated, and if we see them, they are in proper kind of chronological order. How Krishna did everything in that same order. He has narrated it. When Krishna killed Putana, Krishna was 6 days old baby. So after that, Shukadeva Goswami narrates the pastime of killing of Shakadasura, that time Krishna was a 3 months old baby. And then when the next pastime what he narrates is Trinavarta. So when that Leela happened, Krishna was 1 year old. So in chronological order he was narrating, so we can expect maybe the same reason, because when Damodar Leela took place, Krishna was 2 years old. Specifically to say, Krishna was 2 years and 2 months old. So our acharyas very mercifully they have given the timeline of how Krishna did his pastimes. In school we study in our social studies, wow, during this time period what this king did, what that king did, but all those histories are useless. But our acharyas mercifully they have given how Krishna did his pastime. So when Krishna was 2 years and 2 months old, he performed this Damodar Leela, and we know this is the final pastime, or the last pastime before Krishna and all Gopas they shifted from Gokul to Vrindavan. So after this pastime they all shifted. So therefore we may think in this chronological order Shukadeva Goswami is narrating, that could also well be a reason. But actually one more very interesting reason is there why Shukadeva Goswami is narrating this pastime now. The reason given is that Shukadeva Goswami narrates this pastime as an example for the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. We know Parikshit Maharaj asked so many things, and then in the last chapter, before final few verses, Parikshit Maharaj was asking, who is this Nanda and Yashoda? How fortunate they are. Though Krishna was born to Devaki and Vasudeva, they couldn't spend much time with him, any time with him. But Nanda and Yashoda, they saw all the childhood pastimes of Krishna. So really they are so fortunate. Who are they? What is their position? Then we saw the description of Drona and Dhara was given by Shukadeva Goswami. But really to signify the position of Yashoda, this pastime is narrated here. Just it's explained like just as an example. When we give some example, then immediately the understanding becomes easier. So similarly, Shukadeva Goswami is narrating this pastime as an example for Parikshit Maharaj's question. So we will see how exalted position Yashoda has by going through this pastime. Will not even before for Parikshit Maharaj's question, Shukadeva Goswami answers. Even before his answer, Prabhupada in the purport of that question, Prabhupada writes in the purport very clearly, very nicely elaborates what is the topmost position of Yashoda. He says, yes, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda is there, Vasudeva and Devaki. So they are there, both two couples. Though Vasudeva and Devaki, they gave birth to Krishna, there was no time for Devaki even to breastfeed Krishna. So Devaki didn't even spend that much time. Krishna was immediately taken from Mathura. But in another version means even in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself, when the 85th chapter comes, when Krishna will bring back all those 6 dead children of Devaki, at that time there is description given that actually Devaki breastfed Krishna when Krishna was born, because Devaki was thinking that when Vasudeva carries Krishna from Mathura to Gokul, maybe Krishna may feel thirsty, maybe his throat may dry up. So therefore she breastfed him. That is also given. But in this place Prabhupada mentions like this, Devaki did not had much opportunity to serve Krishna. But see Vasudeva and see Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, all childhood pastimes they were witnessing. Krishna's childhood, Krishna's boyhood, Krishna's youthhood, everything they were seeing. All the time they were with him. And after explaining this much, Prabhupada is now comparing Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. And among them he is saying Yashoda is topmost. Fortunate. Because even Nanda Maharaj, sometimes he has to leave Krishna. When he goes out for some work, or even we see when he went to pay taxes, that time only Putana came. So Nanda Maharaj did not, he was not able to witness that pastime. So Nanda Maharaj also sometimes misses, but Yashoda never. Not even for a moment. We will see in the descriptions of Srimad Bhagavatam that even after when they all shifted to Vrindavan, when Krishna was grown up, even during that time, Krishna will sit on the lap of Yashoda most of the times. So that much exalted position she has. So that is explained. And this verse from here, in yesterday's verse, in this entire chapter, we can see, and from this verse, the more glories of Yashoda is described. So we can see how the verse goes. Tang stanya kama asadya. Tam unto mother Yashoda, stanya kama. Krishna, who was desiring to drink her breast milk, asadya, appearing before her. So asadya, this word, Krishna appeared before her. So this shows that means Krishna and Yashoda, they were not together. So means something happened. So Prabhupada in the purport, he writes, this is not directly mentioned in the Bhagavatam verse, but Prabhupada writes in the purport that Krishna was sleeping within the room. So means Krishna was sleeping somewhere else. Till now in 4 verses we didn't read that description actually. So Krishna was sleeping somewhere else and Yashoda was somewhere else. So Krishna, as soon as he woke up, asadya, he came to meet Yashoda. So this is actually a rare sight. A rare sight in the sense, it's explained that always Yashoda is with Krishna. Even while Krishna is sleeping, Yashoda is always with him till he wakes up. Krishna never leaves him. Except on that occasion, on that day, which was Diwali. These 2 chapters, what we are going to hear, we are hearing just what one incident happened on one day, Diwali day, Deepavali. So on that day morning, Yashoda wakes up little early and then she comes out of the room. She was not with Krishna. So therefore, asadya, Krishna comes to her to meet her. So Krishna from the sleep, he wakes up and then he comes. So as I was as mentioning that Yashoda never leaves him because she is always attracted to him. So now today on that particular day, Yashoda just comes out of the room, but at the same time she doesn't want to leave Krishna also. So what we saw yesterday's description, she dressed herself very nicely, everything, and then she sits in front of the room. Just she comes out of the room, but she sits in front of the room and starts churning the butter, looking at the beautiful face of Krishna. Even she's, while churning butter also, she's looking at the baby. So what Krishna is doing, is he getting up or still he is sleeping? Because it was explained, because of Diwali, the previous day night, Krishna went to sleep little late. So because Krishna is tired, she also let him, okay, you sleep for some time. I will go and then I will churn butter. I will get for you fresh butter. So again, this is also another very rare sight of Yashodama herself making butter or herself churning butter for Krishna. Because we know Nanda Maharaj has 9 lakh cows, means you can say unlimited cows. So to milk them and then to get yogurt from that, to get butter from that, you need lots of servants. So many servants and maid servants are there in Nanda Maharaj's house. So Yashoda has so many servants at her house, but on this day especially, she personally wanted to churn the butter for Krishna. And we heard few reasons, we know. One reason was just because that day was Diwali, many of the maid servants were engaged in other services, and because the next day is going to be Indra Puja. After a few years only that Indra Puja turned into Govardhan Puja. So because by that time when Krishna was 2 years old, that was Indra Puja day. So they all were busy engaged in arrangements for that. So Yashoda thought, okay, I will personally churn butter for Krishna. And one more actual reason given is, just before to this previous chapter, we saw so many gopis, they come and complain to Yashoda that, no, your child is so naughty that he always comes to our house, he breaks the pots, he steals the butter, he eats how much he wants and then he feeds the monkeys. No, he does all this mess. So Yashoda used to think, no, what is this? Why Krishna is doing that? We have so many cows. We have unlimited quantity of butter, we have unlimited quantity of yogurt, milk, everything. So what is the reason for Krishna to go there? So then Yashoda used to think, maybe these many days, all this butter, they are churned by my maidservants. So I think maybe daily they are burning the milk. Because they are burning the milk, Krishna is not liking what butter is made from that milk. So because they are burning daily, maybe better I will boil it carefully. Then she thinks, or maybe even if they are not burning, maybe that yogurt is not in a proper state. Or the butter is not coming out well. So something they are doing miss. So let me myself will churn for Krishna. So therefore she starts. She's churning. Matnantim. She was churning this butter for Krishna. She selected, Prabhupada writes in the previous purport that she selected particular cows. She took milk from them. Padma Gandha is mentioned. She took milk from them and then carefully boiled them and then she was churning. And one more very interesting thing we saw in the yesterday's verse also, and which we can learn, we should learn that while churning that butter for Krishna, so Yashoda was singing his glories. Whatever pastimes till now Krishna had performed, she herself composed a few songs, and then whatever others composed also she was singing. So this is very important thing for us, that if we don't get any separate time for singing and glorifying Krishna, at least when we are engaged in some activities, even that time also we can glorify Krishna. So Yashoda is showing that she was engaged in household activity and still she couldn't control, she was singing. We see that Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, in that also. Vikretu Kama Kilagopa Kanya Murari Padar Chidapit Vrittai Dhadyadikam Moha Vashada Veshat Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So when gopis were selling milk, butter, instead of saying that I brought milk and butter for sale, they started saying Govinda, Damodara and Madhava. So that much they were immersed in devotional service. So Yashodama also, while doing any physical activity, she was singing the glories of Krishna. And the description very nicely given that when she was churning, Krishna is sleeping in the room. When she is churning, the noise that came from the bangles, or correctly to say, the music which came from her shaking of bangles and ankle bells and earrings, scriptures and acharyas, they explain that music was like somebody playing kartal. Yashoda is singing the glories of the Lord, and all these items, they created a musical sound which was like somebody is playing kartal. And the churning, what she was doing with the rod and the pot, when you are churning, the rod hits the bottom of the pot and then sound comes. No? So it is explained like somebody was playing drum, means somebody was playing mridanga. So it was like Yashoda was churning butter with some full orchestra. She was singing the glories of the Lord and then very nice musical accompany. And Krishna is sleeping. So Yashoda is thinking, okay, I will churn this butter so fast, I will get this ready. When Krishna wakes up, I will offer him this. On this special day, I will offer him when he wakes up. So she's doing very hard labor. She's churning even before, this was very early morning. So even before the sun rises, in yesterday's verse, we saw that she was perspiring. So much sweat was coming because that much hard labor she was doing to satisfy Krishna. She's thinking, before Krishna wakes up, I should finish. But Krishna wakes up before that. So that's what we are seeing. Krishna wakes up, and then what happens? Tamstanya Kama Asadya. He comes in front of her. Matnantim Jananim Harihi. While she was churning butter, she came in front of her to the mother. He's coming. When Krishna wakes up, then immediately she sees, oh, my mother is missing. Daily she used to sleep next to me. Today she is missing. Where she went? So in that anxiety, he is looking, where is my mother? Where is my mother? He is searching for her. And he hears that orchestra, Yashoda singing and then music sound. So he is going in that direction and coming towards Yashoda and looking at her. See how wonderful it is. Supreme Personality of Godhead, after waking up, the first thing he does is searching for you. So this is the position of Yashoda. So many jivas, you can say devotees or devas, everybody, they don't get opportunity to see even, to take even darshan of the Lord. For that they have to wait so long. Here Lord is searching after her. Recently we all visited Puri. We know that Lord Jagannath, he is so merciful. Out of 4 dhams, 4 dhams, Jagannath Puri is mentioned for this Kali Yuga. So merciful. He is on conditioned souls. So therefore, Lord, by the request of Indradimna Maharaj also, you can say that Lord is not sleeping. Lord does not have eyelids. He is always awake. He is giving darshan to everyone. Because sometimes people will tell that if we ask them, why don't you come to temple? No, I came to temple, but your temple was closed at that time. I came 1 o'clock. They said 4:30 only they will open temple. So therefore I went back. I didn't take darshan. I came, temple was closed. So Indradimna Maharaj thought, no, people will give all these excuses. So Jagannath, you please be merciful. So please you don't close your temple. Let people take darshan throughout the day. So therefore Lord Jagannath, he doesn't have eyelids. So if you don't have eyelids, you cannot sleep. So Jagannath is always awake. So I may explain that 21 hours temple is open and just for 3 hours temple is closed. So that time Jagannath takes rest. They say like that. But we see Jagannath does not have eyelids. So how he is going to sleep? How he is going to take rest for those 3 hours? So in scriptures it is explained that for those 3 hours, demigods they come, they stand in queue and take darshan of the Lord. Even demigods they get only 3 hours. When public is there, demigods will not come. So in this material world, conditioned souls, they are getting 21 hours of darshan, but demigods they have to wait in queue and they are allowed one by one just for those 3 hours. And now when we went, we saw that even demigods they are not getting even those 3 hours properly. Because we were there for Shayana Arati of Jagannath few days, Nandasutta Prabhu 2-3 days event. So one day they gave rest to Lord at 2:30 a.m. Lord went to sleep only at 2:30 a.m. The next day was 1:30 a.m. So there is no fixed timing also for the demigods to come and take darshan. So sometimes they close only for very short time and then no. So it's not very easy. Even in Tamil we have this very famous Suprabhatam. In that very nicely it's explained, Sri Swami Pushkarani. So in Swami Pushkarani, that Tirtha, all the demigods, they come, they take bath, they dip in that Swami Pushkarani and then they are standing in queue. They are standing in queue to take darshan of the Lord. Who all are standing? Shiva, Brahma, Sanaka, Sanandana, sages, they all are standing in queue. They just took bath in Pushkarani, they are wet. In that wet dress they are standing, because normally we know the many temples we can see outside the temple there will be Pushkarani, there will be a pond, they will dip in that wet cloth, they will go and take darshan of the Lord. So Brahmanas used to do that, we can see so many Madhvas also. So these demigods, they are in wet cloth standing in queue to take darshan of the Lord. And in last line it is mentioned that the gods, Jai Vijay, they don't allow these demigods so easily inside. And then they allow one by one, and also by allowing the demigods, they tell, go fast, fast. Your time is getting over, go fast, fast. And then with their stick, they have in their hand stick for moving the crowd. With that they hit them also. Go fast, go from here, go, go, go. So in Jagannath Puri also you can see, Pandas, they have stick. Go fast, why you are standing, go. So for demigods, that position is there. That they don't get the darshan of the Lord very easily. But here see the topmost position of Yashoda, that Supreme Lord he is searching for her to give her his darshan. So this is the topmost position of a devotee. Therefore, Prabhupada, so many places we see, he will ask, no, why you want to become a God? Why you want to become God? Why you want to merge with God? You can become father of God, or you can become even mother of God, which is more superior than becoming God, because he obeys to them, he is searching for them. So this is very nice position of, very exalted position of Yashoda. So Krishna, from the sleep, he wakes up, Asadya, and he sees from the distance that Matnantim Jananim, that his mother is churning butter. So he is coming from the room, and he came next to Yashoda. He is standing nearby, but because Yashoda was so deeply absorbed in devotional service of churning butter, she didn't notice that her child was standing in front of her. She didn't notice. So, therefore, to bring her attention, this line is given, Grihitva Dadimantanam. He caught hold to bring her attention, because we know children, they know how to seek attention. So, if you are not paying them attention, they know all the ways and means. Here it is not explained, but Acharya has explained that actually when Krishna came and stood next to Yashoda, Yashoda did not notice Krishna. So first thing what Krishna did was started crying. So Krishna started crying. We know same thing all children do, same Janmadhyasya yataha, from Krishna they learn. So Krishna is crying, but still Yashoda was deep in absorption of her devotional service. She didn't even hear that crying. So therefore, then the next step what Krishna took was, he holded the churning rod. Then she noticed that, oh, my child is here. He woke up from his sleep. He is here. And Prabhupada puts in the translation one more very interesting, nice word, that he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. Not just to hold her, he began to prevent her. Means, see, Yashoda, she's an elderly gopi, and Krishna is just a 2 years old baby. How much he can catch hold of that rod? How strongly? He cannot, baby cannot. But here, because the desire of Krishna was so intense that, what is this? You are churning something. Now you feed me your breast milk. Now I want. Now I am hungry. So he really held it very strongly. He was holding very tightly, very strongly, that you stop. So that was Krishna's desire, that you stop this churning now, you feed me now, then you give me your breast milk now, then we'll see other things later. So therefore, very strongly he holded, he began to prevent her from churning. So now for this also, Acharyas, they explain, they give one more reason, very interesting, very nice reason. This is clear, plain, clear-cut reason that Krishna wanted to drink her breast milk, so he holded and stopped the churning. But there is one more reason given, that this churning of butter is compared to churning of the scriptures. Krishna has given so much of scriptures, so many Vedas, scriptures, we have unlimited quantity. In Kali Yuga we have lost many, but so much Bhagavan has given. So, when one starts studying them, when one starts getting immersed in them, when one starts churning all the scriptures, when one churns all the scriptures, the final outcome, the final output, the final outcome is Krishna. So Acharyas, they are saying that here already Yashoda got Krishna, so now then what is the need of that churning anymore? Others, they need to churn, because after churning only finally they are going to Krishna. But here already Yashoda, Krishna is yours. He is looking for you. He is searching for you. Then what is the need for you to churn anymore? So for us, we should understand that we should churn more. Our churning we have not yet started. Because when Krishna came, now we saw that immediately she stopped her churning, and then she was immediately attracted. When she saw the sleepy face of Krishna, because just now he woke up from sleep. In school we have read about Sleeping Beauty story. There is one story. But real sleeping beauty is Krishna. Sri Vallabhacharya in his song he writes that Adharam Maduram Vadanam Maduram Nayanang Maduram Hasitam Maduram. Krishna's lips are sweet, beautiful. Krishna's face is beautiful, sweet. Krishna's smile, Krishna's eyes, Bhuktam Maduram Suptam Maduram. Krishna's eating is beautiful and Krishna's sleeping is also beautiful. So when Yashoda saw that, immediately she also asked Krishna's desire. She stopped churning. And so because that much beautiful it is. When in Nectar of Devotion also we can see the qualities of Krishna, the divine qualities of Krishna, his transcendental qualities are mentioned. 64 qualities are given, and the topmost, the first quality listed is Suramyanga. He has very beautiful bodily parts. All the parts of Krishna are so beautiful. Who will not be attracted seeing that? Even Cupid is attracted. In this material world, everybody gets attracted by Cupid. Yesterday, His Grace Kripakara Prabhu was very nicely explaining that the beauty what we see here is, as Prabhupada mentions in Science of Self-Realization, is a liquid beauty, just a skin deep. We are attracted, immediately gets affected by the arrows of Cupid, the 4 arrows which he shoots. First arrow itself we are gone. But that Cupid is attracted by the beauty of Krishna. Therefore he is called Madana Mohana. And what to say of Cupid? Even Krishna himself is attracted by his own beauty. We will see the description later on in the same 10th canto. One day when Krishna was in his palace, in the wall, we have marble wall or stone cladded wall. He has all the gems cladded wall. So gems, gold, pearl, so much, all the gems are there. So in that wall he is seeing his reflection, and then he was mesmerized. Seeing how beautiful is this? What is this form? One day he looks at his picture, and then he thinks how beautiful it is. Another place it is explained that when he goes to Govardhan, there in some stones, rocks, due to heavy sunlight, we can see sometimes shining. So in that stone, one day he saw his beautiful form, and then he was amazed. So Krishna himself is attracted by that beautiful form. Unfortunately, we are not. Because we don't know about his beauty, that is the problem. Because Yashoda knows the beauty of Krishna, she is attracted. Not because of his supreme position. We are hearing about the supreme position of Lord. See, Krishna is supreme Bhagavan, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasya, Shriyaha, everything is there only full in him. So don't get attracted to petty things, get attracted to him. We are trying in this way, but we can see Yashoda and other Gopas, they don't have this Aishwarya Jnana at all. Simply, they are spontaneously attracted. Spontaneously, they are loving him so much. But we are not getting. We are still attracted to temporary, mundane beauty. So the more and more we hear these kind of narrations and the more beautiful explanations given by Acharyas, then we will be also one day attracted. Recently I was hearing one lecture of Guru Maharaj from Vishnu Sahasranam. So many lectures Maharaj gave, he is going to even kind of give explanation for all the names. So many names in Vishnu Sahasranam explains about the beauty of Krishna, and out of which one name is Sundara. Sundara is beautiful. So Maharaj gave so many parts in that name, on that name. And then in one lecture Maharaj was explaining about how beautiful Krishna is. Even demons are getting attracted. Even actually when demons they see the beautiful form of Krishna, they get attracted. And for devotees it is like heart attack. This is the word Maharaj was using. Devotees like Yashoda, when they see Krishna, like their heart is so much pierced, like so much pain is there in heart, so like somebody gets heart attack. But we are not attracted. And Maharaj narrated the beautiful story of pastime in Ramanujacharya's life, that when that Dhanur Das, Villi Dasan also they say in Tamil. So he was kind of a wrestler. He was very strong physique he had, And one time he meets a very beautiful girl named, forgot her name. One beautiful girl he meets, and then he was deeply attracted by her eyes, very beautiful eyes. So he marries her, and then after that, from that moment when he saw that beautiful girl, from that moment onwards, he couldn't resist himself from seeing her, seeing her beautiful eyes. So throughout the day, he will be just looking at her beautiful eyes, and then he will be protecting her. And one day she wants to visit Srirangam for Chitra festival, one very big festival. So she asks him, and then he also brings her. They both come, and then huge procession is happening. All the function is going. She is looking at Bhagavan. She is taking darshan and then taking part in the program. But this Dhanurdas, this Villidas, and for him desire was only one, and for him act was only one. That was just looking at her eyes. And even when there was heavy sun, he was holding umbrella and then giving her shade and looking at her eyes. So everybody was mocking at him. What is this? So henpecked behind his wife. Okay, at home if you are behind her, that is okay. In public, when everybody is looking at you, at that time also you are acting so shamelessly. Because sometimes, many times it happens to us also, that we will be in some big gathering, and if suddenly somebody very beautiful crosses, then immediately what we will do? Immediately we will turn and look. And it could be a beautiful form or whatever it may be. For us, it will not look ugly, but when someone else sees that we are looking at that girl or whatever, maybe it looks so ugly that even during kirtans we can see somebody is looking somewhere else, it looks so ugly. So everybody was thinking so shamelessly, this Villidasan, this Dhanurdas, he is looking at that his wife even in this temple premises. So then for him, fortunately, Ramanujacharya comes there with his disciples. He is coming there. Ramanujacharya also seeing the instance, and then he is asking them, who is this? What is going on? Then they explain to Ramanujacharya, this is what happened. Then he is not stopping. He is really attracted to her. Therefore he is like this. Then Ramanujacharya personally goes to him and then asks him, what's going on? Why you are doing this? Dhanurdas said, look at her eyes, so beautiful. I have never seen anything more beautiful than this. Therefore I am not able to take my eyes off. Then Ramanujacharya asked him, okay, if I show you something more beautiful than this, then will you give up this? Then he said, there is nothing more beautiful than this. No, if I show you, then will you leave this? Then he said, yes. Then Ramanujacharya directly took him inside the altar, to the altar. And then when this person, Dhanurdas, who was never a devotee, means nothing, he was not performing any sadhana or nothing, just by the mercy of Ramanujacharya. Recently, so many days we were hearing about Kripa Siddhi, just pure example of Kripa Siddhi. Just by the mercy of Ramanujacharya, he saw the beautiful eyes of Ranganatha Swami. That the Bhagavan, deity Ranganatha Swami, he showed his beautiful eyes. Immediately he surrendered. He didn't expect that. So Maharaj narrated that. Maharaj was saying that so this can only happen to us only when we come under some help of some sadhu. Otherwise we will be just get deep souped into this material beauty, which is flickering, which is temporary. So that fire is so strong, this Dhavagni is so strong, so much burning. Therefore when one gets entangled into it, unless without the help of a sadhu, he cannot come out of that. That's what daily morning we are singing. Samsara dhava nalalida loka tranaya karunya ganaganatvam. So we need that rainy clouds. So that guidance only can be given by Guru, because Guru will engage us in devotional service, which is much more heavier fire than material fire. Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, very beautiful verses there. I never learned that, should learn. So in that verse it is explained that just like when a gold is put into fire, all the impurities goes away. Similarly, the fire of devotional service, when one engages in that, then the fire of material existence will go away. So one can get out of all the impurities, all the contaminations only when we engage ourselves in devotional service. For sure, Yashodama's position is somewhere else and we are somewhere. But we can at least come back to our constitutional position. That verse exactly says the same. That we will be purified of our impurities and we will be established back in our constitutional position of being servant of the Lord. So therefore, when Krishna comes and then when he holds the rod, no need for you to churn anymore, because the outcome of churning already you have already, Yashodama, you have me. So Krishna holded that, and for her transcendental pleasures given in the verse Pritim Avahan. So Krishna was creating a situation of love and affection among him and Yashoda. So when Krishna came, immediately, even before Yashoda holds him, Krishna himself directly he comes on the lap of Yashoda and starts sucking her breast milk. Unlimited quantity of breast milk is flowing, and unlimited quantity Krishna is also drinking continuously. I don't want to spoil the upcoming classes, but that beautiful description is given. So she is feeding Krishna. So these are some of the thoughts I thought of from this verse. So if any corrections, questions, comments.
Hare Krishna. You mentioned that Mother Jasoda is naturally attracted to Krishna. She's fully absorbed in Krishna. And then you said that we have no attraction. But that's not true. We do have an attraction. We do have attraction for Krishna. That's why we come to the temple, and that's why we chant our rounds and do all the other devotional processes. But our problem is that we have attachments to the material world. So I just wanted to make that point. And the other point I wanted to say was, you mentioned that Devaki didn't get the opportunity to breastfeed Krishna all the time like Mother Jasoda, but you did mention she did get one opportunity. So that was very nice. It's also interesting that the gopis in Vrindavan also got the opportunity to breastfeed Krishna. Every single one of them. When Krishna
In Brahma Vimohana Leela.
Brahma Leela, they all got a chance to breastfeed Krishna. So they also got that opportunity. So everyone, not just Mother Jasoda, but every living entity can breastfeed the Supreme Lord.
Including the cows.
If they follow in the footsteps of Mother Jasoda, Krishna will give them the opportunity.
Including the cows during that Brahma Vimohana Leela, they were also feeding Krishna.
The cows also.
So Prabhu was mentioning that you said Yashoda had natural affection for Krishna, attraction, but we don't have. But it's not like that. We have attraction for Krishna, therefore we come to temple, but we have attachments. Yes, our attraction for Krishna is now covered up with the dust, as Cheto Darpana Marjanam, that Prabhupada so many times explained that dust covering the mirror, it is more easy to clean compared to, we see other examples given by Krishna that regarding the consciousness in Bhagavad Gita, that embryo in the womb or fire covered by the smoke, but dust covered by the mirror is little easier to clean comparatively. So we need to clean the dust and we need to churn more, as we were seeing in this verse. And Prabhu, one more thing he said was that regarding that Devaki did not breastfeed Krishna, and then but later it is mentioned she breastfed her also. So this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, I think when we crossed the sixth chapter there, he was clearly mentioning that Devaki did not breastfeed Krishna because immediately Krishna was taken from there. There was no time because everybody was in fear that Kamsa can come at any time. So there was no time. So therefore, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur also mentions like that. In Bhagavatam, we don't see the description. But same Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur in that 85th chapter, when the description about the Krishna bringing those 6 children of Yashoda, and then Yashoda breastfeeds everyone. That time first Krishna sucks her breast, and then all other children will take her breast milk. At that time description is given that even before this also Krishna drank breast milk from Devaki. So there then Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, this was not mentioned before, but from this verse seems like before before Vasudeva took Krishna from Mathura to Gokul, that time she fed him. And other acharyas, they give explanation that because Devaki thought this is a long journey, so because Krishna's throat may dry up, so therefore let me breastfeed him. So that was there. So Prabhupada was saying not only Devaki, other gopis also gave their breast milk to Krishna. During Brahma Vimohana Leela, we see that Krishna accepted all of them as his mother to fulfill all the desires. And I was mentioning that even the cows also got the opportunities, because Krishna, he was acting as the cows also. So cows also got that opportunity. Something.
Just when you're saying about how we are attached and we have to purify our hearts. In Chaitanya Lila, that's exhibited by the cleansing of the Gondicha temple. Lord Chaitanya cleansed the, I think 7 times maybe. 7 times, every time they went in to cleanse the whole temple. And then he would send them all back in again, they'd clean it all again, and then again and again and again. That's like cleaning our heart. It's going to take, we've got to keep on cleaning it. It's like coal, scrubbing coal. It's how dirty our hearts are, that we have to keep scrubbing and scrubbing. It's like trying to clean coal. But eventually, it happens, the heart becomes cleansed.
Because only thing is, when we get attracted to Krishna, then we don't get dissatisfaction back. Means we are satisfied. With all other relationships, or whatever it may be, or some material objects, material possessions, or material relationships, to whichever it may be, if we show attraction, if we show affection, if we show love, the only thing what we get back is dissatisfaction. Means we will not be pleased from that. In Upakyane Upadesha, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the instructions through stories, when he narrates one story that I exactly don't remember the title name. A bald man, a person who was bald, going under a what tree? Some tree which has a big fruit. So one day that bald man, he is walking, and then suddenly one fruit falls on his head. So he doesn't think anything. Next day he comes in the same route, same place, same time, and then another fruit falls on his head. So then he starts thinking, what is this? Nobody is sitting on top. Whenever I comes, this is falling. So maybe nobody should go below the tree. So he gets understanding like that. And afterwards, whenever he goes in that route, even with others, some 2-3 people, he will tell them, don't go below the tree because some fruit will fall on your head. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur compares this story, and then he tells, similar situation is ours. That in this material world, we may get caught up in some situation. We may do something, some misactivity or whatever, and then you face the reaction of it. You are suffering. So intelligent person, what he should do is, he should not commit that same mistake second time. He should not do that again. This is what intelligent person learns from that. So he says that this person never went back below the same tree. He learned that lesson from that. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says, similarly we should learn to not to commit same mistake which we did before. So till now, every one of us, especially myself, I am saying, so much of attraction could have been there. So when we get some opportunity, some mistake you do, you get some second chance. Some mistake you do, you got some opportunity. So then we should be careful enough not to do that mistake again. So then when we don't do that, then we will not continue our attraction for that. Rather we will start developing attraction towards Krishna. And then that cleaning will happen. So this one we got this from that.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, another important point what I can see is in this verse we can see Mother Yashoda is trying her best, to give to offer the best food preparation for Krishna, right? So I think this is a very important thing. Even we can see Mother Yashoda is churning her own butter. So even until now, the traditional method of churning is called Mother Yashoda method, which also means Bilona method. How they churn it. But nowadays we see we are not using this method. Currently the industrial method where the milk is transformed into cream and immediately it become ghee. Yeah, actually the proper method is this, churning. So I mean, my point here is we should actually endeavor to give Krishna the best milk, ghee, right? So just want to share my experience. Recently I went to Jagannath Puri, Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja. So at Ananda Bazaar, we was purchasing prasadam. So I was surprised to see there is this dalda tin was over down there, all the empty tins, the cans was all over in the Ananda Bazaar. So I was wondering why they are putting dalda. So I asked one of the pandas, I mean, what oil are you using? So actually they said, yes, we are using dalda to fry this, the famous Mahaprasad of Jagannath. What do you call that? The gaja.
Gajas.
Yes. So I was surprised actually. They are using dalda to fry this, and they said only Thursday they use ghee. So yeah, just sharing that. But anyway, yeah, our mood is that we should give the best. At least for the deities, we should give pure milk. This desi cow's milk, ghee. Yeah, and also for householders, we should strive to offer the best to Krishna. Yeah, even you see now we are turning into vegan. The society now, even many devotees now they don't take milk because they say it is dangerous, it is harmful, and that. But Prabhupada says no, milk is very important. It increases our intelligence. So yeah, in this way, I think we should give the best to Krishna. So that's the point, Prabhupada. Thank you.
Because of this, as you were saying, this industrial method like that, today's world, many children, if we ask them the process of ghee or process of butter, that from milk you make yogurt and then comes butter, they don't know that. They think ghee comes from DMart or ghee comes from nearby shop. So they don't know the process at all. Okay, all right.